Welcome back to Shoot the Shot, an NBA and variety show. It is November 19th, 2021. Jonathan Osborne here. My usual co-host, Luke Sylvia, was not able to make it tonight. We've got producer Kevin Tucker on Shoot the Shot. What's going on, man? How are you?
Jonathan, doing great. Enjoying a nice Thursday. Hard to believe that Thanksgiving, for us, as we record this on Thursday, is a week from today. It's kind of crazy that November's just flown by, and really the whole year has flown by. But I'm excited to throw down some food here in a few days. Let's go.
So, guys, this is not going to be the usual type of show. We had a show planned for tonight, and some personal family stuff happened with Luke. He wasn't able to make it, so we're just scrapping that. Kevin and I are going to be just kind of hanging out here talking about random stuff.
We're literally going to shoot the shot tonight.
That is exactly what we're going to do. So, Kevin, we didn't really go over this before the show. Obviously, you're going for turkey, right, on Thanksgiving. Apart from that,
whoa, time out. That was a strong assumption because you're already off to a bad start. So here's my thing with turkey. I know where you're going with the rest of the question, so I'll start with turkey and I'll go the rest of the way. Here's my thing with turkey. I don't love basic turkey. I will eat a piece because it is part of American folklore, but I don't sit there and crave it. The only type of turkey that I will absolutely chow down on is when people use the whole fryer, the deep fried or whatever.
Okay.
Because then it's actually juicy. Usually, I think turkey's too dry for me. So I'm going to answer your turkey question. I'm going to let you respond to that.
Let me stop you right
all right,
there.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had a brined turkey?
I don't believe that I have, but I'd love to hear about it.
So that is basically. So my wife tried it for the first time last year. So anyone that knows me knows that my wife I think she's the greatest cook on this earth. Anything she makes, I will just destroy. But last year, she's made, the turkey the last couple of years, always good. But this year she decided to brine the turkey. And basically what you do is you, a whole bunch of, different seasonings and stuff like that. You heavily salt the water. If you've ever heard of briny, brackish water, it's heavily salted. So you take a 5-gallon bucket, you fill it with water, and you salt the crap out of it, you season the crap out of it, and you dump a bunch of ice into the water, and then you submerge the turkey in it, I think for pretty close to 12 hours or something like that. And the turkey just soaks up all the seasonings, all the juices. And when I tell you the turkey that we had last year was the juiciest, most moist turkey I've ever had in my entire life, I told her I cannot have it any other way for the rest of my life. Now, the one thing I do want to try is the deep fried turkey. I've never had that. I do. And the other thing when it comes to turkey, I'm a big skin guy.
Yes.
So
same.
Turkey skin, chicken skin,
yep.
I am all over that. I will. 2 Thanksgivings ago, we had about 25 people at our house, and I hoarded all of the skin. I had it set off to the side. Now, we had so much food, we told people, please do not leave without a plate. We do not have enough room in the fridge for all these leftovers. Somebody swiped, not some, all of my turkey skin. So I can just imagine how delicious and crispy and just wonderful deep fried turkey skin must be.
It's very, very good. And yeah, if you're looking for a juicy turkey, it's the way to go. Now, it's also the most dangerous way to cook a turkey. If you watch
might be the most dangerous way to cook anything.
That's true. But if you watch it every year, there's some sort of disaster horror story.
Just burn their house down.
Yes, or burn their face off or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. So
and that's
be smart
because people don't thaw the turkey all the way, right?
Yes, there's a lot of reasons, but that's one of them. Yeah.
Or they fill it with too much oil.
Yep. It's a whole. But yeah, if you watch your local news station or even the Today Show or something, every year leading up to it, they have a whole safety segment about deep frying your turkey. But it's worth it if you do it right.
Have you done it yourself?
No, I've helped someone do it before, but I've never taken it on myself and said I'm going to deep fry turkey this year. But maybe someday. Maybe someday I will. Shall I go through the rest of the menu in my mind?
Please do. That's exactly where I was going.
I knew it. So the number one thing for me, and this is basic, you can call it vanilla, you can call it whatever you want. I love mashed potatoes. Love mashed potatoes of all kinds. That is the first thing I am slapping a heaving helping of mashed potatoes on my plate. Love mashed
gravy
potatoes.
Volcano?
Absolutely. Totally down for that. Whether it's brown gravy, white gravy, yellow gravy, bring it on. Love it all.
Whoa! Yellow gravy.
Yeah, I mean it's like
what is yellow gravy?
It's a more of a play on words. I don't think there's a type of yellow gravy, but some people their brown gravy looks kind of yellow. It's not like anyway.
Right? Yeah, it's more broth than
exactly.
Gravy.
Exactly.
Now white gravy. Are we talking like a breakfast like a turkey gravy?
Yeah, like turkey gravy. Yeah, I've had that on mashed potatoes before.
I've never had that. I've only had that really on like biscuits and gravy.
Yep, that's
usually
good.
I'm a brown gravy kind of guy. Brown turkey gravy kind of guy.
Gotcha. Yep. So mashed potatoes is number one for sure. I love stuffing. I love all the corn, any kind of corn. Bring it on. Sweet corn, salty corn, doesn't matter. Bring it on.
Kettle corn.
Yeah, kettle corn. Oh, what I was going to say when we talked about not kettle corn. I was going to say when we talked about meats.
Not ever or not with Thanksgiving.
I don't like popcorn or kettle corn.
Okay.
Yep. Get it out, but definitely not on Thanksgiving.
So you hate turkey, you hate popcorn.
That's right. That's right. Let me back up to the meats. What I was originally going to say, ham, big ham guy. Love ham. Christmas, Thanksgiving, random Tuesday in July. Love ham, big ham guy. So that's my go-to salty stuff. I want to hear yours before we get to desserts because that's a whole separate category.
How is your stuffing prepared? My family cooks it inside of the turkey.
Oh, yeah, I've had that before.
That's the way to go.
It's very good. Yeah, that's not typically it's just, in the casserole dish or whatever. And sometimes it's homemade, sometimes it's, the stovetop or whatever the brand is.
Yeah, we just get stovetop and we just shove it inside of the turkey and then you transfer it to the casserole, tray or casserole dish.
Yeah. So I'm any stuffing down for that. But yeah, let's hear your lineup, your Thanksgiving lineup.
So I'm excited to try the deep fried turkey, but I think that kind of rules out putting the stuffing inside of the turkey.
Yeah, that I feel like that would be a little problematic.
Yes, it's probably a little bit over the top. So for me, yeah, definitely turkey, brined turkey. I have not had the pleasure of trying the deep fried turkey, but I'm sure it'll be right up there, for me with the brined turkey. But yeah, it's the stuffing cooked inside the turkey, absolutely. So my wife makes what she calls, or what her family calls, cornbread casserole. So it's cream corn, I think it's cornbread mix, and it's cream cheese that it's sour cream, excuse me, not cream cheese, sour cream that they mix together and then they bake it in the oven, and it's just like cornbread, but you've got like the nice soft and moistness of the cream corn. Just it has to be at every family function, not just Thanksgiving, but like you said, Tuesday in July, cookouts during the summer. I've got to have that. But then I'll also go like traditional like corn, like just sweet corn out of the can. Like I'm all about that. You got to have the mashed potatoes. You got to have the gravy. My mom makes two killer like different types of salads. Like she makes a macaroni salad and also makes a pasta salad. Either one of those is definitely on the plate. And then this kind of is a good transition from this to dessert, but the candied yams. Like the sweet potatoes, the brown sugar, the marshmallows on top, burnt just a little bit. I love that little bit of char with my marshmallow. And yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. My wife's Puerto Rican, so if we're having Thanksgiving dinner with her dad, he'll make a big old pot of arroz en gandules, the rice and the beans. So I'll throw some of that on there. If he's making the plátanos, I'm all over that. Like, yeah, I don't really discriminate when it comes to Thanksgiving. Like if it's there, the only thing I don't mess with, and this is going to be a hot take, I don't mess with the green bean casserole, Kevin. I don't like green beans.
Yeah, I'm not a huge green bean guy either. I have been known to just grab the crunchy little onion straws off the top and just eat those. Those are good. Yeah, I'm not a huge green bean guy. I don't mind the casserole as much. It's just there's all the other flavors. I guess it's like cream of mushroom soup plus the onion straws. But yeah, it's okay for me. For dessert though, talk about hot takes. I do not do pumpkin pie.
Hell
I think it
no.
is disgusting.
Pumpkin
Let's go,
pie
Jonathan.
Is trash.
Let's go. It's baby food with a pie crust. Let's go.
Gross.
Absolutely disgusting.
Do you do cranberry sauce?
Not with turkey. No. Like I'll do cranberry sauce with something else, like a cornbread or something else. But like I don't like the fruit with the meat. Like it's not my thing.
Okay. So I have never been a fan. Like my whole life, I've seen it come out of the can. And it still has the grooves from the can in it, and that's always been like really off-putting to me.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, I have dabbled a little bit into that, a little bit with the sweet and like kind of savoriness of the stuffing, cooked inside the turkey. Because a lot of times we'll do like a cornbread stuffing, so it's got a little bit of that sweetness to it. With the turkey, a little bit of the cranberry sauce, just nice old Ocean Spray right out of the can. But I don't know if you are familiar with the holiday turkey cranberry sub at Publix that comes out each year.
Yes,
they use the orange cranberry relish,
and
that with the turkey, I'm all over that in terms of cranberry sauces. And then what Carmen, she started this last year, and we've decided this is a tradition for the rest of our lives. We'll do it with the kids and everything. The day after Thanksgiving, takes all of the leftovers and makes basically like a Thanksgiving jamboree grilled cheese. So it takes everything. I think last year she did it with Gouda, with that cranberry relish. Yeah. And we put in the panini press last year.
Okay,
and that was absolutely ridiculous.
I'm following you on that. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So back to your desserts.
Yeah, absolutely avoid pumpkin pie at all costs. Outside of that, though, just about any other pie I'm downing. Like pecan pie, it's okay. It's not my favorite. But get beyond that, an apple pie, I mean, come on, that's amazing. My granny in North Carolina always made pound cake. It was awesome. Stuff like that. So just as long as it's not pumpkin pie, I'm probably downing it.
I've never had pecan pie. I'm kind of lost to the idea. How can you make a pie from nuts? Like, what else goes into that?
Yeah, a lot of fat is what goes into it. Literally, it's just a bunch of other just stuff that makes the pecans all stick together. But so Jenna, my wife, actually is a baker. Like, we used to have a bakery and all that kind of stuff. Her favorite thing to eat and make it has a lot of different names. Some places call it one thing. Where we lived in Tennessee, they call it an I-40 pie, and it's a pie that's pecans and coconut, and I can't remember the third thing, but like it's
that
actually
sounds phenomenal.
I don't like coconut and I don't really like pecans, but that combo it's pretty killer, and it's very popular, at least in parts of the South. But yeah, so if it's a pie and doesn't have pumpkin in it, it's going in my belly.
Me, I'm either going like apple pie or some kind of like peach cobbler.
Oof,
I like peach. Anything with like a nice vanilla ice cream, and not just like your run of the mill like super bland. It's got to be like the vanilla bean like Breyers ice cream with like the black little speckles in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where 100%. I'll go for dessert. Apart from that, like a nice like chocolate cream pie, like it's really just like chocolate pudding in a graham cracker crust with some whipped cream on it. But I'm all over that. Yeah, man, my mouth is literally salivating sitting here talking about this. Well, probably I'm gonna have the same conversation with Luke next week, when we do Shoot the Shot or the 6-Man show or whatever. But yeah, man, just about a week, well, literally a week out from Thanksgiving. So hope you guys are all gonna enjoy your holiday. Safe travels wherever you're headed. I'm not gonna tell you don't eat too much. We all know. Do you eat at all the day of Thanksgiving before dinner?
Well, you also just assumed that I eat Thanksgiving dinner. So, like, these assumptions are...
Okay, like, you don't wake up and have breakfast. It's still Thanksgiving dinner. Like, we probably have Thanksgiving dinner at, like, 3, 4 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
So, like, that's what most people do.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, Kevin.
No, but I mean, that's not what we... Like, that's even later than what some people do. Like, this year, we're going to my wife's family, and they always eat right at noon. So, which is way earlier than I'm used to as well, but that's what they've done forever, literally. But anyway, yes, I still eat breakfast. I love breakfast. I'm a breakfast guy.
So they're starting the turkey at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Insane.
But I mean, I don't eat a big breakfast, that's for sure.
Right.
But yeah. But it sounds like you abstain from all foods to save up the room. Is that right?
That's not entirely true. Okay. Now, for years, that was my practice. I would stop eating at like 5 o'clock the day before. And I would just go to bed hungry. I would wake up ravenous. I might have a little snack, a little hors d'oeuvre as I'm waiting for the turkey to come out. You start to, the scents are wafting throughout the house. But now I have started. I wake up. We do this like the last 3 Thanksgivings. There's this little breakfast restaurant really close to our house that opens at 7 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. They're open from like 7 to 10. So we'll go right as they open. Some years I've even like ran there in the morning. So I'm like burning calories, like getting ready for Thanksgiving. So I'll just have my little plate of biscuits and turkey gravy or sausage gravy. Usually with some turkey sausage. And I feel like that just like it kind of it gets the day going well for you, but it just gets the metabolism going into overdrive. And you're like, I've performed that much better at Thanksgiving dinner having had breakfast. So sometimes your body's just looking to replenish itself, and it just like soaks all of it up so fast, and then you're full. But when your body's just like in this mode of going through the calories, it's like, just give me more.
Yeah, that's some wise words of wisdom there from old Jonathan.
I'm a professional. I've done this a few times now. You take a post Thanksgiving meal nap usually, or do you make it all the way?
I'm not a nap guy anyway. Yeah, so I push through it and watch the football, and that's about it.
It just depends for me.
Yeah,
I hate the Cowboys, so they play every Thanksgiving. Don't usually care about the Lions. Why don't the Lions and Cowboys just kind of go back and forth?
Just play each other? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just play each other each year on Thanksgiving. Like, why are you inconveniencing these two other teams?
Yeah, I think it's, and I feel bad saying this, but I genuinely feel like that is like the Lions' one thing they've held on to for all these years, and so I'd hate to take that away from them.
Yeah, are they always at home?
Yep.
Dallas and the Lions?
Yep,
all right.
They both are.
I guess that's fair. All right, Kevin, you wanted to talk about something pretty interesting, just kind of not totally current NBA related, but at the same time NBA related. So why don't you go ahead and
so this was the question I posed to you, and it's this concept of, obviously, if you listen to the show, we are all big Magic fans. Jonathan, myself, we're our primary role on this podcast channel.
That guy
is
Luke that shows up.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah, him is the Orlando Magic podcast, a 6-man show that we do every week. But branching off of that, this idea of, let's say tomorrow that the Orlando Magic just are obliterated from the NBA. There's some scandal or whatever, and the team is gone ASAP. It's like, what would happen to your NBA fandom if that were to take place? Do you have a team that you kind of root for on the side, or if the Magic were to go away, you would fully go all in on the team? There's different ranges to this, but I don't know. Have you got a chance to think about that, Jonathan? Do you have a team that if the Magic were to disappear tomorrow, you'd be like, I kind of root for them, or how does that look?
I feel like we're, so I'm located just about 40 minutes north of Tampa. So I feel like this is a conversation that I've kind of had to entertain with some of my friends who are Rays fans, with the whole thing that, they might be doing this sister city thing with Montreal. I'm sorry that I had to bring it up. But it is something that I've thought about because of that. Like, man, I don't know what the heck I would do if, A, I lost my team, or if B, they're like, hey, we're just going to play in Montreal half the year, and then, half the year we'll play here. I don't even know that the Rays have any idea of how that might actually work at this point. But so this is something that I have thought about quite a bit. And when you posed the question to me, I was like, man, what would I do? And in recent years, we've seen a lot more people more so become fans of players than they are of teams.
For sure.
And I think that's the only thing that I could do. I think I would just follow a few players. Like, the guys that come to mind right now are like Damian Lillard and Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Those are probably my two favorite NBA players right now outside of the Magic. Yeah. So if that were the case, I would just root for whatever team those guys were playing for. And that's what I think I would just continue to do. I would just find different guys that I like, and I would just follow them.
Yeah, especially as a Duke fan, you'd follow like different Duke players.
Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah.
You brought up the Rays, so
this year I'm probably going to watch more Duke basketball than I will North Carolina because of one Paolo Banchero. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe he won't even play for Duke the rest of the year, depending on what happens with this aiding and abetting
with a DWI, wasn't it? That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, so apparently he was like in the back seat of the car.
Right. Aiding and abetting in a DWI is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't know that you could get in trouble for being in the car with someone that was drunk. It doesn't seem like he was intoxicated from some things that I've read, but I didn't even know that was a thing. So anyways, no. UNC all day, Tar Heel life. Swag.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you brought up if the Magic were to, maybe move like the Rays are talking about doing. Magic fans out there, I'll just touch on this really quickly. Those of you that aren't long-term Magic fans, the Magic were about this close to moving to Kansas City before the Amway Center was built. Back in the late 2000s. It was like a pretty scary, or I guess it was mid 2000s, pretty scary time. So Magic fans have been around for a while, kind of knew, that backstory was a little scary, but glad they stuck around and we got the Amway Center. For me, it's kind of changed, over the years. Different eras of different teams have always kind of grabbed my, not just my attention, but my fanhood. Like, I loved the early mid 2000s Pistons, even though they just beat the heck out of the Magic all the time. Ben Wallace is the only NBA player I've owned his jersey that wasn't a Magic player. It's the only one. Ben Wallace is one of my favorite players of all time. He's awesome. I loved that era.
He's just a statistical anomaly, really.
Insane. And undrafted, and just for him to do what he did, and just crazy. And be so bad on offense.
Yeah, the only All-Star ever to not ever average double digits scoring in his entire career. It's pretty phenomenal. Insane.
So, I loved that era. When I first started getting into basketball, it was the Bulls in the 90s. So obviously, you kind of love to see that. But through the years, there's been different stuff. I love the Mavs, in the, I guess it was the early 2010s, with obviously Dirk, but that whole Jason Kidd, when they won the title, I guess it was 2011. I loved that team. But what changed for me is in 2015 when I moved to Indianapolis. And I lived in Indianapolis for 4 years. And I just that's my second favorite team now. And I don't know if it's just, by proximity or whatever, but they've got such a kind of a cool history. They're still an underdog though. They don't have any NBA championships. I think they have an ABA one maybe, but as far as modern day, they don't have any championships. They're still that underdog. They're not a bandwagon type team. Indiana, the state, loves basketball. They love that sport from high school, college, all the way up. It's a really fun environment. The arena is awesome there. I love the city of Indianapolis. I know that's separate from basketball, but so nowadays, I definitely root for them when they're not playing for the Magic. And if the Magic were to disappear tomorrow, it would definitely be the Pacers for me. I just think they're a pretty cool organization.
People, for one reason or another, always talk about the DeVos family, selling the team. They want the DeVos family to sell the team. And that's the thing that I always come back to is the team almost moved once before. And right now, regardless of what you think about them, it's a known evil if you, view it that way. What you're going to get, and they're building a brand new practice facility. So obviously they have every intention of staying here and investing in the team here. If they sell the team to someone else, who knows what they're going to want to do with the team. So that's always one thing that I always come back to. Yes, you can argue about the way the team is run, and sure, would it be awesome for a guy like Shaquille O'Neal to own the Magic, or John Morgan.
John Morgan, yeah,
Morgan and Morgan to own the team, but John Morgan, I think, it would definitely keep the team here. But you just never know. Somebody else. It's what it comes down to. It comes down to a bidding war. Whoever is going to pay the most is more than likely going to be the party that buys the team. So just be careful what you wish for. We could have somebody else come in and own the team, and then we're going to move them to Hawaii, where they're going to be the the Hawaii coconuts or something like that. You never know what's going to happen with that. So, all right, guys. By now you've heard us talk about Manscaped a million times, and you probably think that's because they pay us to do so. You're not totally wrong, but recently they reached out and said, hey, guys, we've got this new 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. We'd love for you guys to try it. I wasn't all that excited because I've used these 2-in-1s from other brands in the past. I never had a good experience. They always leave my hair feeling flat and dead, leaves my scalp dry, just never a good time. But this 2-in-1 from Manscaped that I have right here, just absolutely love it. Great experience with it so far. So first they have this ultra premium cologne fragrance that they have, which if I could describe this, it's like you being the most handsome guy wearing an Armani suit in the middle of the woods. If you can picture what that smells like, that's what these products smell like. The 2-in-1, I've really loved it. Great lather. Again, it smells great, leaves my hair shiny, soft. I don't have a ton of it left, so I try to take care of what I do have, and I've just been so happy with this 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. It's actually still a little bit damp because I just used this just a few minutes ago. And then the body wash. Same thing with the body wash. Great lather, great scent. Leaves my skin feeling nice and soft. It doesn't drag and have that disgusting hotel body wash feel that you get with a lot of these brands, and my wife loves it. She can't keep her hands off me. We've got kid number 3 on the way. Thank you to Manscaped. And Kevin, our producer, joining us today. You've also used the Manscaped products and had pretty good experience with them.
Absolutely, yeah. I haven't got my hands on the 2-in-1 yet, but I'm going to definitely get that soon. But yeah, I got the 4.0 package a few months ago, and it's been awesome. Like you said, super high-quality products. Everything down to the travel bag that comes with it. Can't complain. It's really good stuff. Been using it religiously ever since, and it's been super high quality, and I love it too.
Kevin, do you use shampoo?
I do, actually. You do got to wash the scalp a little bit. There's not a lot going on up here. But I do use shampoo, and yeah, I will definitely try the Manscaped 2-in-1 for sure.
I love it, guys. So join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with 20% off plus free shipping with the code SIXTH, SIXTH, by going to manscaped.com. Again, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SIXTH at manscaped.com. Be thankful this holiday season for the best gift of all from Manscaped. Your balls and your head will thank you. All right, Kevin, let's talk a little football. So you're a big college football fan. Your Florida State Seminoles probably playing in the college football playoff this year. They're just on fire, doing really, really well. Beat the Miami
Hurricanes. Beat
Hurricanes.
Miami, so I do need to throw that out there. If there's any Hurricanes fans, let's go.
How much longer until you guys play the Gators? I can't wait for that.
It's next Saturday. It's always the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
My gosh, that's going to be phenomenal. You and Luke in the group chat. We're going to have you on, even if just for a few minutes, well, the 6-man show that we record that Sunday night. You and Luke just 3 minutes each, just go at each other. I can't wait for that. We've definitely got to do that. But
totally down.
What games are you most interested this week in terms of college football?
Yeah. Just there's a mixed bag this weekend. There's some really pretty good games, and there's some terrible games, as is usually the case these last few weeks of November. I should say the last Saturday before Thanksgiving, as a lot of teams are getting ready for their rivalry game. They schedule cupcakes, that kind of stuff. So there are 3 games that I think are most interesting. These aren't necessarily the biggest games, although the first one is the biggest game. The other 2 I think are kind of interesting. The first one, it's the most obvious one. It's the only big top 10 matchup. It's number 7 Michigan State at Ohio State at noon. It's the game day game. It's the Fox big noon game. It's a huge thing, huge implications for the Big Ten title game here in a couple weeks, and obviously for the college football playoff. I think Michigan State is really going to push Ohio State to their limit. That'll be a very interesting one. Some people think Ohio State's going to run away with it. I'd be surprised if it's a blowout, but I think Michigan State can really put up a fight. Second one for me is this one's a little interesting. SMU at number 5 Cincinnati at 3:30 on Saturday. Cincinnati, this is their last test, if this is even going to be a test, but their last test before we head into, they've got one more game, and then they've got their conference championship game. But if this is going to be the first group of 5 team to get into the college football playoff, obviously they're going to have to be SMU, and SMU is going to give them a tough run for their money. They're 8-2. They absolutely destroyed UCF when they played, which surprised me even. I am a Florida State guy, but I'm also a UCF guy as well. But so that I think SMU can really give Cincinnati a hard time and might even win. I wouldn't put money on them winning, but I think they definitely have a chance. And here's the last one, all right? Jonathan, have you ever heard of something called the civil conflict? Do you know anything about that?
Like Gettysburg's address, or
no,
Gettysburg Address?
Not the Civil War. This is called the civil conflict. I know. I'm just kidding.
I've not heard of it. No.
All right. So let me tell you about the civil conflict. This would have been 2015, maybe 2016, maybe a little earlier, 2014. UConn and UCF were in the same conference, and UConn's coach at the time, I don't even remember who it is, he tried to make UConn and UCF into this rivalry, like this whole north, one of the most northernmost schools against one of the most southernmost schools in the conference. I think it was him that called it the civil conflict. He's like, we're going to have a trophy made, and whoever wins gets the trophy. And it was just totally mocked by UCF and has been ever since. And it just became a total joke, especially because UCF just usually, although I think they lost a couple times, usually just absolutely beat the doors off of them, especially this year because UConn is terrible. But the game is back after a couple year hiatus after some conference changes and stuff. So this Saturday it's the civil conflict. UConn at UCF, 4:00 at the Bounce House. UCF should once again beat the brakes off of UConn, and it's just become a big joke about this whole civil conflict thing. The trophy's actually gone. Like, it literally, UCF won it, and they said, this is so dumb, we're not, so it just disappeared, which is kind of funny. It's ended up being this whole comedy thing, but that's my third game that I'm interested in, is the civil conflict of 2021. It should be fun.
What were your thoughts? I think it was back in like either 2005 or 2006 when the Chris Leak Florida Gators won the national championship and then dropped the crystal football and broke it. What were your thoughts on that back then?
I just tried to avoid those celebrations at all costs because I just really didn't enjoy them. So I don't have any thoughts on that.
Don't you think that's disgraceful?
Yeah, it's disgraceful, but I mean, to be honest, when you win it, you can do whatever you want. So it just kind of comes with the territory.
Can't wait for Luke to hear this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk about the games of the NFL this week that I find the most interesting. Kevin, this is a really ugly week. Like right now, Thursday Night Football is going on. Patriots are up 13-0 over the Falcons, but just not like, I mean, there's some, I guess, what you would call marquee matchups, like the Ravens and the Bears. Obviously, there's a lot of Bears fans. The Packers and the Vikings. There are some divisional matchups, but it's like Colts, Bills, blah, Lions, Browns, blah. Washington football team, Panthers, blah. Like Washington, like get a name. What are you doing? It's been like 2 years. Texas, the Houston Texans, Titans, blah. Like just a lot of games like that this week. But looking at the 4:00 games on Sunday, so we've got Cowboys at Chiefs. I think that's going to be pretty exciting to see if the Chiefs can actually gain some momentum here. As we're a little bit over halfway through the season at this point, I think, or just about halfway done. And then Cardinals Seahawks, obviously just depending on whether or not Kyler Murray is going to come back. Divisional matchup, those are always fun in one way or another. Kevin Clark has always made the joke that the Seahawks have never played in like a normal football game, and every single week he just seems to be proven right about that. But yeah, if it's Kyler versus Russell Wilson, who's back, came back last week coming off of the thumb injury, if it's those guys going head to head. Anytime you have Russell Wilson, behind center, you're going to have a chance to win the football game. The 8:00 game on Sunday, Steelers at Chargers. I like Justin Herbert a lot. I think I love him. I love Austin Eckler. I like watching Keenan Allen as well, so that game's going to be fun. But Kevin, both of our game of the week, you are a Bucs fan, I am a Giants fan, and they play Monday night. So this is going to be the first out of the last 3 Giants-Bucs games in Tampa that I won't be able to attend. I was at the last 2, what was Odell's last year in New York. I was there. I saw him dislocate his finger. And then I was in the building 2 seasons ago for Daniel Jones's season debut, where he runs in the touchdown on 4th down late in the game, and then good old Matt Gay missed the game-winning field goal, and the Giants won. I have the a helmet signed by Daniel Jones with inscribed is that game's date and his stats from that game. So just being there was very special. Hoping that guy is our franchise quarterback. But Monday Night Football, how are you feeling? Because I asked you a question last week. Are the Bucs good? And the reason that I asked is because if you look at their schedule, outside of that first game against the Cowboys, which they barely won, okay, they have not really had a impressive win. And now I believe they've lost their last 2 in a row. Is that correct?
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm not saying they're not going to be good, but are they good right now is my question.
I have to say, you said they haven't had an impressive win. That's just not true. Just because they haven't beaten maybe an impressive opponent, they have beat the doors off of most of the teams that they need to beat the doors off of.
They haven't beaten a good team, I'll say that, since they beat the Cowboys.
True. Okay, yes, thank you. They beat the Cowboys, which has obviously been a good team, but we beat the brakes off of the teams we should beat the brakes off of for the most part until we lose to them, like Washington. Losing to them, that was the only bad loss, if you ask me.
The Saints was a bad loss.
I don't know. The Saints are a good team. Their quarterback situation, obviously in the air, but the Saints outside of that are a good football team. And
the Saints outside of their quarterback is a good team. Do you hear yourself?
No, I didn't say. No, I said
far,
their quarterback situation is up in the air.
What do you mean? Their starting quarterback tore his ACL. Their quarterbacks are Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian. I wouldn't call that up in the air. I would call that bad.
Okay, that's fair. But the rest of their team is very good, and we did have a chance to make that a game in the end, and we blew it. The Washington game was bad. Like, they outplayed us in a lot of different areas that they shouldn't have. That was the only bad loss. The Rams loss is not a bad loss. I picked that loss 2 months before the season even started. It's at LA. LA is probably the best team. At least I shouldn't back up. They're not the best team right now. I think they will be the best team in the playoffs. They're my team to beat. I mean, they're just so stacked right now. So to answer your question, I'm not worried about the season. This is a team that just needs to get in the playoffs. I
don't care if you're worried about the season. Are you worried about Monday night? Let me preface with this. The Giants are garbage. I'm not. Don't get this twisted. Like, I think the Giants are good.
Right.
I really
get it.
don't.
I get it. And you could say maybe we're concerned because the trajectory we lost 2 in a row and blah, blah, blah. You could say that. But am I worried about Monday night from a football sense? No. I'm not. The Bucs should take care of business. We haven't lost at home yet. I'm not worried about it. Am I worried about it for me as a human being if the Bucs lose on Monday night? I'm terrified, absolutely terrified, because I know I'm not going to hear the end of it from this guy, all right?
Yeah,
and so I need to win on Monday. I'm a little scared of that, but I think it'll be okay. Like I said, we've played really well at home. We also, Gronk is probably going to play. JPP looks like he's going to play. Some of the other guys, I don't think any of the other guys are going to come back from injury, but it'd be good to have Gronk back. So, I'm a little scared, but only because of, what it might mean for me. I'm not too scared on the football side of things.
Yeah, I'm not scared just because the Giants have nothing to lose. The only thing that I get worried about on national television is whether or not Daniel Jones is going to play well. If he plays well and everybody else loses, I'm just going to get a lot of texts like, oh, you guys lost, but Daniel Jones, he looked really good. He looked really solid, blah, 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 blah. If the Giants lose and Daniel Jones looks terrible, that's all I'm going to hear about is how bad Daniel Jones looks, how he's trash, all these other things. If the Giants, by some miracle, win this game, then I get to hold that over the heads of my friends, people like you, and obviously everybody that, around the area that I live in that are Bucs fans. So I'll, no matter what they say, oh yeah, we have a Super Bowl. Well, we beat you on Monday Night Football, and I'll have that, at least for a while. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I just get nervous every single week just whether or not Daniel Jones is going to play well. And our prospects of him being the franchise quarterback doesn't really, speak all that well on that. Something that, has become more and more apparent, especially this year, is if Andrew Thomas plays and starts and is not injured, Daniel Jones plays well. If Andrew Thomas, our starting left tackle, does not play, Daniel Jones doesn't play well. So I think there's a lot of different reasons to that. I think he just feels more comfortable with Andrew Thomas there. He's not kind of looking over his shoulder and, just rushing. He knows he's going to have that time. But the weird thing is it doesn't really affect his time to throw. So he has the same amount of time, relatively speaking, in the pocket, but just this weird thing in games that Andrew Thomas plays this year, Daniel Jones plays really well, and when he doesn't play well. So hopefully Saquon is back. I really need that from a fantasy football aspect. I think Kenny Golladay is going to be back this week. We've missed both of those guys the last few weeks. I think Kadarius Toney's also going to be ready to go. So those guys will give us a chance. The defense has been playing really well as of late. I'm really loving our secondary, James Bradbury, Adoree Jackson. And the one thing I'm afraid of is Tom Brady. 2 losses in a row. He hates losing more than I love my kids probably. And Monday Night Football prime time, he's gonna want to ball out. I'm afraid of Tom Brady, but that's I will continue to say this. Some point, Max Kellerman said this 5 years ago now, and has looked ridiculous since then.
Yeah.
But there is going to come a day where the other shoe drops and Tom Brady's just going to be too old to play football anymore. That might be 70 years from now, but someday it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Father Time up to this point is undefeated.
That's
Tom
true.
Brady might be the one guy that can take him down. He seems like the only guy that has a chance right now. but it is undefeated. He does come for everyone at some point.
And you're hoping
So we'll
Father
see what
Time
happens.
gets the W starting Monday. That's what it sounds like.
You know what? That's not accurate. I like the Bucks. When the Giants aren't in contention, I root for the Bucks because I live here and I have a lot of friends that are Bucks fans.
Sure.
But it's Giants versus the world, you know, when it's versus the Bucks. Like
Right.
if they're not playing against the Bucks, I'll root for the Bucks. But I don't care. My mom could be playing the Giants, and I root for the Giants. Like
Yep.
that's the way that it is. So
Love it. That's the way to do it.
if my son that, you know, we're due to have in March, if he grows up and makes it to the NBA, if his team is playing the Magic in the NBA Finals and the Magic haven't won a Finals, sorry kid, you'll get back there someday.
Yep.
I need
Would you
I
do
need
the
a
split
Magic
jersey?
championship.
Would you do the
Absolutely
the
not.
Timberwolves Magic jersey? Okay.
I'll buy a Magic jersey. I'll put his number and name on it. That's as far as I'll go.
Gosh.
As
That's
I'll
awesome.
go. So, all right, Kevin. Last thing we want to talk about. So you have swayed me pretty heavily lately to play Fortnite. So we've been playing Warzone quite a bit. We've got you into Warzone, and you have like a billion games played in Fortnite. And
Yeah.
I tried it like back in the day, a few years back. Just really never could get into it. I love Warzone, but then man, you started tugging on my heartstrings when you told me that Fortnite has brought Naruto skins to the game. At first, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Blah blah blah. It's kind of ridiculous. Then you sent me the summoning jutsu emoji, and I was like, oh man, you're really starting to sway me. You showed me a few other things. You actually sent videos of all these different items in the game. So last night, I downloaded Fortnite. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll have time to play tonight. You're gonna be putting this episode together after, so maybe not. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try Fortnite for you.
Yes, let's
Everything
go. So
you've done for me in the podcast, the least I can do is give Fortnite another old college try.
yeah, so I've turned into an unashamed Fortnite guy. You know, Fortnite has a bit of a stigma with it. You know, I've been playing it now since almost day one. It's been over 3 years now, and I took a long break. Like I stopped in February. I just stopped playing it 'cause I had other things. But the last couple of weeks I've been playing it again. And now that I've got old Jonathan here, maybe we'll stream some duos on Twitch. Maybe, you know, no, just kidding. But
maybe.
but
Hopefully we
Warzone,
get a win,
I have
because we haven't gotten a win in Warzone.
That's true. We do need to get a win in Warzone. I haven't got one of those yet. But Warzone is actually a lot more fun than I originally thought it was. But it helps when you play with guys that halfway know what they're doing, like you and Luke. So I'll show you the ropes in Fortnite, and we'll get a Vic Roy, as they call it, a Victory Royale in no time.
Royale, baby.
Absolutely.
I've never got one of those. Whenever I played Fortnite, I tried the old like hide until like the very end of the storm.
Yeah.
But then like kids just start building, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm just completely dead. So
It is easier to get a Victory Royale in Fortnite than it is to get whatever the victory is called in Warzone.
called a victory.
Well, that's lame. Sure, yeah.
Warzone
Just
victory.
kidding. There you go. Warzone victory. I think
Yeah.
it's easier in Fortnite, but only time will tell on that.
Yeah, for sure. Kev, I think that's it for us this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'd be remiss if I couldn't get off this conversation without just saying Magic beat the Knicks again last night. It was a lot of fun. I know you'll talk about that on Sunday, but since I won't be around, I just got to say it. Let's go. Bing bong. Magic Square Garden, whatever you want to call it. Let's go.
Magic Square Garden. That's phenomenal. Really quick shout out to our patrons: Court Cousins, Drew Gooden, Armin, Keith Garcia, Zico, Carson Tulo, Nathan Lynn Ellis, Jonathan Borges, Norm L, Magic Player History, Julio, and Joseph Chubb. We just had our first Zoom Q&A with our Hall of Fame tier patrons. So if you guys are interested in being in the next one, be sure to find us at patreon.com/the6man show. But for Kevin Tucker, this is Jonathan Osborne. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Shoot the Shot. We will catch you guys next time. See ya.